my name is Cheyenne Strickland and I am the collections assistant here at the Anniston Museums and Gardens, and today is National Learn About Composting Day. So composting is something that a lot of people are kind of familiar with, but you may not know too much about it. So composting is good for a lot of things. Composting is good for gardening. It's great if you don't want to go out and have to buy soil all the time, and it's great because it has a lot of nutrients in it that you put in there yourself. So there's a couple of different types of composting, and they may be better for you depending on if you live in a house, if you live in an apartment, or your preferences on how stinky you want your composting to be. So the first one is going to be aerobic composting. So this is one that really the air is going to do a lot of that work for you, but the downside is that you usually have to have a tumbler. So what you do is you put in things like your food scraps, your paper scraps into this big tumbler, and every so often you're going to go out there and you're going to turn it so that it stays freshly turned over. Now a second type is called anaerobic composting. Now this one is better if you don't really like stinky things, because basically you're gonna put it in something and you're gonna leave it to sit for a very long time. But the downside to that one is that it is gonna take a little bit longer for you to get those composting materials back out of it. The third one is my personal favorite, which is vermicomposting. So what you do is you have a several layered situation, and you're gonna put in different food scraps, you're gonna put in different leaf litter, things like that, and you're gonna put in a lot of worms. Those worms are gonna do a ton of the work for you because they're gonna eat a lot of the stuff in there, and they're gonna break it down and produce this really nice nitrogen-rich soil. Now it might be so nitrogen-rich that you kind of have to offset it with some soil that's more balanced, but hey, sometimes you have to do things like that when you compost. Now composting is great, like I said, for things like gardens, even if you just have small pots. So I encourage you today to go and look for different information about composting and maybe try it yourself.